try for you. 'Cause I'm gonna try for you. I'm gonna give my love to you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio.
Road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Ringing the one ding ding and the boom boom boom, adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you, my Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? Heartbeats and stolen glances, oceans and wedding marches. Our music plays through all these days. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Ringing the one ding ding and the boom boom boom, adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you, my Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action. My Isukuti love. Give it to me too much, too much. For me. Niko na visa, niko kwa simu na nasikia bashi meshika. Je, kuna madem, kuna maniga, maodine wamekuja kuchachisha. Ninajificha, sitaki picha, kubabae, sitaki vita. Nashikisha na mavela mabichwa, na tukishikwa jo mabel Mona Lisa. Tutoke BND, twende BNB, niko DND. Usijam, I will be RB. Abi.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya vile inafaa. Erobog na matin. Eyonaka. Erobog na matin. Abiro kikomando, kiritala jumi niko na mado, wenye vipindi na musonge kando, wamoke girumba kokwarawe blues, kinena kalingi kipani ya sim, meditation yaka bedni swoya design bololo, anebo che bololo, so please no, okadwa jo machendo oh bololo, anebo che bololo. So please no, okadwa jo machendo Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu Maximus. Hey, and na. Hodong, yeah.
Hodong.
Nico D&D.
Mutoto ya Pamela.
I'll be right back. Tell him I'll be woo.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Alrighty, a very, 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 very good morning. Happy new month, wherever you are tuning in from. Let us know it's the second day of December. Oh my God, and just like that, 2024 has come to an end. I do not know how that makes you feel, but you know what? We move on. Hii syllabus mulisema inakimbia sana, but I don't know. I was not ready for this year to end in the way that it has ended. But of course, it has not yet ended. But I was not prepared. I don't know. I feel like we just got into 2024 and now we're already here. The second day of December. And before you know it, 2024 is going to be out and about and we get into the new year of 2025. But not to worry. We will discuss those issues as we go on, as we continue. But welcome officially to the Pawa Morning Drive show. My name is Anne Wanyoike. I'm officially welcoming you to cruise with us all the way from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. On the Pawa Morning Drive show. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let me just take a quick look at what is happening, the situation on the roads this morning. It was crazy traffic is happening. I'm not so sure what that is about. We start off with the Thika Road from Kenya School of Monetary Studies all the way down till Pangani, looking hectic. It's absolute madness. I can also see that Kiambu Road is also looking the same from DCI all the way down as you head towards the Muthaiga Square in Nairobi, kumeshikana bumper to bumper. Same situation is happening along Limuru Road. Limuru Road mambo imeshikana kutoka pale Village Market all the way down towards Karura as you go towards Muthaiga intersection. Same goes for the Wayaki Way. all the way from ABC Place, things are looking quite crazy. Pale, as you go towards the address, as you go also head into Westlands, things are looking bumper to bumper. Lower Kabete Road, leo mambo imeshikana kule pia. Zen Garden all the way down to Silver Springs, not looking too good. If you can avoid that route, kindly do so. I can also see that the situation along ways is Jogoo Road pia kumeshikana kama kitu ingine. Same goes for Mombasa Road, Capital Center, all the way City Cabanas pia kumeshikana like nobody's business. Ngong Road is also looking quite hectic this morning. I don't know what it's about. I'm not so sure. But from Junction Mall all the way down towards Coptic Hospital, things are a little bit of a snarl up there. We also have Raila Odinga Road, not so shabby this morning. At least you guys are moving. In case of any accidents or incidents, do let us know. Remember, the hashtag to use is hashtag Pawa Morning Drive. You can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across all our socials. Let's get a quick break and then we'll come back and get into today's news roundup. This is Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I need you, and you need you, we need you, yeah. Sikiza moyo wangu nimesha jipa, utulivu ndani ya roho umesha nipa, na candle tumewasha na stima tumezima, na pale unapotaka kwenda nitakufikisha. The weather's getting wet, I need your consent. Call your heaven sent tonight, I'm giving you my best. Before I confess, how you kill me with that dress. Girl, I wanna touch your mind, you bless me with the rest. We need to find out where we are, 'cause I wanna be more than a friend. Tunaanza tu vihamless hapa tujiforce, unasacha moko happy and lost. Ni nini your smile itakos, ni show before anything happy and thoughts. Love in a power ata army high stops, sisemi aiduka usmami across. Kamsalaba, nakaona njaa history itaanza na itaisha na doka solfalada. Soka uko rada sana utaanza kuona tu struggle. Atuko 5 star but tumetravel. Twende tukasimame mbele ya iPhone. Wakiona lifestyle wana na try though. Ukitoka sina kumisi na bag of tricks ya kujitoa, niko kwa fix una macho fit na zoo show silo uko lit. I hope ziku show kuja commit. We need to find out where we are, 'cause I wanna be more than a friend. 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 Ile siku tulimit, tulipatana ndani ya matinganya. Nilikujeki, nikatamani hata tungejuana. Chini jue upiga luku, na vile woni tunijo niko mandukulu. Chini jue upiga luku, na vile woni tunijo niko mandukulu. Zimeshika, umeniweka ndani futi 6. Ni kama mbegu mimi tachipuka, na ningependa unipe fursa. Tiririka, niko na feelings leo za mwagika. Kuna mavitu sitakianika, na nimechoka sana kujificha. We need to find out where we are, 'cause I wanna be more than a friend. I wanna be more than a friend. I wanna be, I wanna be more than a friend. I wanna be, just a wanna. I wanna be more than a friend, just a wanna be. I wanna be, 'cause I wanna be more than a friend, just a wanna be.
They call me Chris to the cantata. They call me Chris to the cantata. That's why they call me. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. That's why they call me. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Yo, they say it's hard to compose a rhyme. I say you out of your mind or you full of lies. Then again, you could be the slow kind. I don't see how lyrics don't hypnotize. Voila, the season has transformed. You got reason to be bored, so now you want more? I'ma serve you flavor that you can't afford. The bill about to get placed on your tempo. So don't even try to resist. Look at yourself bumping to the beat. Get up and get down with a G-twist. Forget the hater cause the fool's not on the list. Dig this, we came and we took over. Got the keys to the ride and we're not sober. We made an oath that we ain't gonna ride for you. So now it's hip-hop, ride us to the border. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. That's why they call me. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. They're taking over my head, dog, they on a hustle. I'm taking over their bread, dog, I'm on a muscle. Try to be cool, but I gotta mumble. Better yet, after that, there's a big tussle. Quit them tears, boy. Dry your eyes, see the G going cheers, boy. Don't be mad, cause I say that you weird, boy. You kinda scared, so I see that fear, boy. Meditating on a cute shorty. Lean body, mean thighs like the chick bought it. Eyes set real tight like they all assorted. If she arrested my ass, then she got a warrant. I'm a legend in the living, and that's that. I grab objects of vices you can't touch. Read all comprehension is too much. I know where's these words that bring the wrath. Let's go. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Glad that you stopped by. Who are you? What's your business? Bye bye. I hate people that think that I'm on a rise. Yet and still I'm the steel that will not fly. Ask why? I got this even better. On this planet, I teach you before the cheddar. What I compose gets better by the day's weather. That's why they call me Chris to the cantata. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Yo, yo, yo. That's why they call me. They call me Chris through the cantata.
This is Hendrix Sound.
Hekima mdomoni mwake na uzuri wake wasambaza kote. Heshima kwake ni msingi, akiipeana apewa kwa wingi. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake mwendo wake. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake manzi wa maana, yake ni za kuvutia, lote afanyalo afanyia Mungu, na ukweli ndiyo nguvu yake. Maombi moyoni yamuimarisha, na ujali wa mwingine chake yeye haki, usichana wake hadi wawe chali wa mwingine chake yeye haki, usichana wake manzi wa maana ni manzi wangu, manzi ambaye amuogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wangu, manzi ambaye amuogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Maana ni manzi wa Mungu, manzi ambaye amuogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amuogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Henry Mutuku ulinifunza manzi wa maana,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I wish that someone told me caution is a virtue, people can hurt you badly. I wish that someone told me patience is a virtue, good things all happen slowly. Wish that someone told me protect your heart, you're smart if you keep it healthy. Heart disease will eat at your trust and keep you from loving with ease. Hey, 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 hey. We be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away, way. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away, way. This kind of loving is for lovers only. I wish that someone told me don't waste your time talking so negatively. Wish that someone told me save a little hope, it's over before you know it. I wish that someone told me real love is real, I found her all of a sudden. She's beautiful, a lover, not a fighter, I'll never let her go. Yeah, 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 we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away, way. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Oh yeah, 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 we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away, way. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Kissing all day, chasing all the pain away, way. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away, way. This kind of loving is for lovers only.
It's for lovers only. It's for lovers only.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana, nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia. Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya vieta kianguka hawakunyambia, saizi liona na sikufuatilia. Jirani alikuteka, mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka? Uko sure?
Ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest? Uko sure?
But for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Ni sawa. Ni sawa.
Nomba on your wedding day, stima zipote, upate fat fingers, ringi sitoshe. Your boyfriend akubaie kadogi ukidhani nika cute kakuume. Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona, unadhani yeni catch kumbe yeni spam donor. Yoni nini unabonya? My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy wena, wependa kenye unapenda, imeenda.
Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka? Uko sure?
Ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest? Uko sure?
But for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That is Nisawa. Welcome back to Power Morning Drive. My name is Anne Wanyoike and this is Power Radio. Let's get into the day's news. And I'll begin with a story here on the page 8 of the day. No, page 6 of the Daily Nation. The story is, it reads, ODM to field presidential candidate. Now, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has assured the ODM party members and supporters that the outfit will field a presidential candidate in the 2027 presidential election. Mr. Odinga's announcement has thrown into disarray speculation that ODM would form a merger or coalition with the ruling United Democratic Alliance, that's UDA, party, ahead of the next general election. The former premier, who was speaking in Vihiga County during the Thanksgiving ceremony for Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi, following his nomination as the ODM deputy party leader, affirmed that the Orange Party will have a presidential candidate on the ballot in the next polls. And then he stated, even though I am set to clinch the Africa Union Commission chairmanship, my interest in Kenya's leadership cannot be wished away. Mr. Raila continued. He emphasized the need to strengthen ODM across all counties, saying the party's power is the weapon to win a government in a democratic governance space. All right, so of course, I mean, it's a great opportunity for ODM to sort of still remind us as Kenyans that it's still for the longest time has been the opposition, still is the opposition. And so, yes, them fielding a presidential candidate come 2027, is just another field day, in Kenyan politics. So I think this mostly has to do with the fact that for a long time, a lot of attention has been towards the Africa Union chairmanship bid for the former premier, and we forgot the place of the ODM party as opposition, in Kenya. So it's just, I think it was mostly a statement to kind of return to its glory, in a bid to kind of remind people that it's still the opposition, the leading opposition party. But moving right along, there's a story here on page 8 of the Daily Nation. It says that Limuru is the epicenter or a pot for brewing Gikuyu resistance, settling political scores. And there's a story, there's a picture there, of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua being interviewed by an NTV journalist there. So from offering President... Okay. So the story here reads, from offering President Jomo Kenyatta a stage to engineer the downfall of his Vice President Jaramogi Oginga, a theatre for Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o's resistance plays to a springboard for Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta's presidential candidature. Limuru has been Mount Kenya's political pulse. Last Thursday's attack on former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua by hired goons as he attended a burial in Limuru constituency has once again shown a spotlight on the region's place in triggering political volcanoes. Now, for those who do not know, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was in attendance of a funeral, and out of nowhere, some goons came in, and it seemed as if they wanted to attack the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and so it got people into a disarray because, of course, there has been a lot of stories that have come out of that story about, why can't you let the, Rigathi Gachagua just be? Nobody necessarily needs to maybe kill him, because again, it's just why. And I honestly, I was listening to the family of this the deceased, and they were very much in pain. In fact, they were like, why would politicians use that opportunity when they are bidding their loved one goodbye? That's the arena of politicians to come and showcase their bravado and showcase, their very wayward ways. It's quite unfortunate in this country. And so you can grab your copy of the Daily Nation to follow up on that story some more. But moving on quite along to now the international scene. Some world news here. Of course, the Valencia Marathon is continuing. It's happening. We say that Sebastian Sawe won the Berlin Half Marathon that is happening right now. We have the Valencia Marathon happening. That is in sports, in the sports news. Let's see what has been happening on the world stage. Let's see. On page 22 now of the Standard. There's a story here. With Angola trip, Biden keeps his word on sub-Saharan Africa visit. Now, outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden is headed to the southern African country of Angola this week, fulfilling a key promise in a bid to shore up ties with the continent. Biden, who will stay in a capital city, Luanda, from Monday to Wednesday, will be first U.S. president to visit the oil-rich country since it won independence from Portugal in 1975. With the trip, Biden will finally be fulfilling a promise made in late 2022 to visit sub-Saharan Africa. So again, there's just a continuous investment, or rather not investment, but per se, but the United States wanting to keep its stay on the African continent because of this new, the king from the east rising up. So they have to really fight for their place with African countries, and what would that look like in terms of trade, in terms of political ties, in terms of economic ties, because there's a lot of opportunity for the two countries, for America and African countries to be able to be in collaboration. And that leads us to the end of our local and international news roundup. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we get into our day's conversation. Today, we are going to be just unpacking some of the deliberations and conversations that we've been holding here at Power Radio and at Power 254 regarding the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Now, we've been running a campaign called Scars Behind the Mask, and so we'll be unpacking some of the key messages and what you need to get home with as we come almost to the close of the 16 days of activism, which continue all the way till the 10th of December. Keep it Power Radio. We'll be right back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Tumekuja kupati DJ hebu weka traki tukule happy halafu tufungue sakafu sababu inabamba inashika wingu la tisa inatufikisha ukiachilia mahewa manze DJ unatubeba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba boom ba boom ba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba boom ba karibia inakubamba vipi dada shake your manda inakutouch touch usiri relax kwenye dance floor show us your what unanoki hauchoki kwenye dance floor hautoki unahisi hii muziki unahisi nameless na mimi
it's nameless Eliza in conjunction with Ogopa tumekuja kuhakikisha kwamba speakers zinasikika. Hey yo mister, are you a member? Hey yo sister, wacha kulenga. Can't you see that I'm talking to you? Sasa weka mikono juu.
boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba
Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber.
Alone name the super fresh lakini twende wewe yeye wewe vice versa vile wataka
Mr. Brother, wacha kuzuba. Ukisleki hautapata.
fungua macho floni yako cheza wimbo kama ni wako cheza wimbo kama ni wako sababu huu wimbo ni wako
Isa hatucheki na watu.
nameless hatucheki na watu
Ma MC hatucheki na watu.
ogopa hatucheki na watu unahisi hizi flow za Afrika unahisi kama una katika can you feel this front to the rear can you feel this up in here boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba
Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber.
na tumekuja kupati ambia wenzetu samahani hawako nasi na tuko nao basi wametupa mao sababu inabamba inashika wingu la tisa inatufikisha ukiachilia mahewa manze DJ unatubeba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba
Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Back with another ba bum ba bum bum. Back with another ba bum ba bum bum. Back with another one ba bum ba bum bum. Let's get it ba bum ba bum bum. Caribbean pictures in a Mary Jane, just in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary Jane. Caribbean Jane, 'cause I really like the way, I really like the way your music is insane. Caribbean pictures in a Mary Jane, just in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary Jane. Caribbean 'cause I really like the way. The way your music is insane. Joe, how do you think, Joe? What can you push about this girl I know? About this girl called Mary Jane. About the way she used to kill them with the show. Kill them with the kill them pretty girl there. She got that shaku, got that katika. Every night and day, up before 20 p.m. Everybody say, Caribbean lane, pictures in a Mary Jane, just in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary Jane. Caribbean Jane, 'cause I really like the way, I really like the way your music is insane. Caribbean lane, pictures in a Mary Jane, just in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary Jane. Caribbean Jane, 'cause I really like the way, I really like the way your music is insane. Caribbean lane, pictures in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary Jane. Caribbean Jane, 'cause I really like it, man, I really, 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 really like it, yeah. Man, I really like to dance, really like to move my body like that. Really like to dance, really like to move my body like that. Okay, na Joe napendanga energy drink, lakini ukitaka mali safi and the chain. Kuna manziana everything you need. Gotta break your back, gotta break your back, gotta break your back until everything don't be leveling. Go so sweet, they be jealousy. Everything about you is so highly. I know you know they know you got nice energy. I keep songa. Every time so exciting. Now what lie, you mesmerizing. Nice energy. I keep songa. That is why Mary Jane makes you feel some type of way. Caribbean lane, pictures in a Mary Jane, just in a Mary Jane, pictures in a Mary. Pictures in a Brandon, Jerry. Pictures in a Kendra, pictures in a Abby, pictures in a Erika. Pictures in a Lynn, pictures in a Tracy, pictures in a Dodo. Now Warembo,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
just a little. Hata kama ni mara ya kwanza sisi kuonana, usiogope nipe macho yako ana kwa ana. Hata kama ni mara ya kwanza sisi kuonana, usiogope nipe macho yako ana kwa ana. Ngoma zalia na mimi nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha, sakata rumba, achilia presha, hatujui kama tutaonana tena.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, that is Wanavokali with their song Rumba, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive show. My name is Anne Wanyoike. Now, as you heard me saying before we went on to our break, there are 16 days of activism. Is a day that happens. There are 16 days that were officially flagged off by the United Nations Women, the UN Women. And they are a commemoration, or rather a time that world leaders, activists, and people that work in the social economy come together and to look at and reflect, or rather assess, the state of gender-based violence against women and girls specifically. And so it's a campaign that runs from the 25th of December all the way till the 10th of December, which, to crown it off, that also doubles up as the International Human Rights Day. And so the 16 days of activism really is, again, as I've said, it's a day to commemorate and also just reflect about the work that we do, even for us who are in the civil society and also media space, the work that we are doing in terms of addressing the issues, that surround gender-based violence. And so our campaign now, our theme, or rather what we've been dubbing our campaign, is Scars Behind the Mask. And this is a campaign that is being implemented digitally mostly, and also via events by Power 254 in collaboration with Power Radio. And so we have managed so far to put together 2 events that, were opportunities to kind of address some of the key issues within. The first one was the key issues in just reflecting the state of safety in creating safe spaces, and how do we go about addressing the issues of gender-based violence. And so in that event, we managed to have some very key figures that work tirelessly in this space, in the space of human rights defenders. And we were actually looking at the issue of gender-based violence from a human rights defenders or human rights angle, because a violation sexually or, through battering is a violation against human rights. And so it was great to be in the room and to talk to people like the Amnesty Executive Director, Mr. Irungu Houghton. We also had the president and founder of Africa Uncensored, journalist John Allan Namu. We also had the founder of the Shine a Light CBO, Ms. Georgina Kawira, who is also a human rights defender, on that conversation as well. And a couple of other people. We also had Mr. Mark Barasa from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the ODPP, who was also able to come and give us some pointers about some of the work that happens, and the state of even public prosecution when it comes to litigating abusers and the perpetrators of violence. And then, so that was done last week but one in Friday. And then last week, we also had the Ital Grove roadblock convened by our very own Flozz Munyiri, and it was an event that was, yes, reggae themed, but more specifically, we were using the platform of reggae music to bring people in the creative industry and look at issues of gender-based violence, specifically speaking towards issues of GBV in the creative economy. And so we had quite an insightful panel there. We had a producer and actor, Mr. Martin Kigondu of Prevail Presents on our panel as well. We also had our in-house Wakili, James Wanjeri. We had the head of, was it student department at the ADMI it's an ADMI college, Miss, let me just check. Part of the panel was Miss Monica Wamuyu, who is the safe social inclusion, gender equality, and safeguarding lead at Haverfund. We also had Raji Uma, who is the head of student programming at ADMI. And so it was a great panel. And what I'm going to be doing is I will be unpacking some of the key messages that conversation, or the conversations from those two events were able to bring up, and so that when we talk about and when we engage in such issues, we know exactly where the problem is. And so the first things first is it was great to hear that gender-based violence is an intersectional problem, right? This is where you find that, especially in countries like in Africa, where problems are very intertwined. So you find that the intersectionality between, especially of the victims of violence, is that you find that sometimes it's cultural, and when I say it's cultural, you find that there are cultures up to today, that still practice female genital mutilation, that's FGM, and while they might not necessarily look at it as a violence, against girls, women and girls, it is indeed a violation of human rights, because it has nothing to do with anything. I've had so many terrible stories by girls who've actually gone through FGM, and they've shared in most rooms saying that the only reason as to why they are put through this FGM is because to sort of safeguard their place and in society. And I've had also stories about how that it's supposed to also act as a something to tame the girls, so that they do not go around sleeping around and deflowering themselves before they are married officially. And so you find that that on that front, the intersectionality, which, by the way, intersectionality is a term that was coined by a black scholar. She's called Miss Crenshaw, and it's a way of looking at issues not just as linear, right? It's a way of looking at issues in the many possible ways within which these issues and problems can be exacerbated, and so therefore creating an opportunity for us to deal with them on those many nuanced and on those many layers that they come with. So in Kenya alone, violence, gender-based violence is cultural, because I've said that, there is that FGM aspect. But you also sit back and then you hear stories of pastors and, people of the clergy taking advantage. You've had Catholic priests as well, defiling children and sodomizing boys in conventries and taking advantage of the, survivors, or rather taking advantage of little children. And so in that way, you can look at gender-based violence as it's religious or spiritual in one way or the other. Okay? As if that is not enough, we also have the problem of political, that gender-based violence is political in nature. We've had so many cases of politicians taking advantage again of young girls, just because they do not have the money or the power to be able to get by. You find that the political class, and of course Sharon Otieno is one of the many women that have suffered under the guise of of politically instigated violence. Then, as if that is not enough, we also have technologically assisted violence, right? This is where we find that women, first of all, it happens on so many fronts. Let's talk about just even sex pornography, online pornography or online porn. We live in an age where we have OnlyFans, right? Some of these people that are on OnlyFans, it's not because they want to be there, but it's because they've been forced and coerced to get to a place where there's nothing else to do for them to be economically empowered. And so you find that technologically, gender-based violence is perpetrated through that way. We also have a lot of cases where people have been trolled, a lot of sexual assault, insults rather, that happen, making below the belt jokes and stuff like that happens a lot. We've also had cases where sex trafficking happens because the conversation started online and then they ultimately happen to someone physically. Then, as if that's not enough, there's also the other layer of the fact that sexual, because obviously it's not just usually gender-based violence, it's also sexual and gender-based violence. We also have it, the economical, the intersectionality is economical, right? We live in a world where inflation rates are just, prices of things are going all the way up. And so because of how the markets are behaving, you find that job security is not something that is very much guaranteed. And so some of these women, like we were even able to hear some of the stories of sex workers during our event in the past 2 weeks. They were saying that some of them just got into that trade because they looked for jobs and there was nothing that was opening up for them. And so they ended up taking the pathway of, sex working. And some of the harrowing stories that we were hearing from them was quite you would not want to wish that upon somebody, okay? So there's this one particular lady who was sharing the fact that she has been beaten by her clients, some of them are her return clients. The emotional abuse as well that happens, it's like one. And there's a little bit of also a Stockholm syndrome here that happens. Some of these clients are very codependent on their sex workers because it's like they do not have people to talk to. So when they find that opportunity to go and vent and rant to them, they do it. But there's also the anger that happens to them, like, why am I in this position? And so what happens is they start taking it out on that person. They start taking it out on these people. So economic violence could be gender-based violence because it's also twofold. There's also that one where people, for example, are a married couple or, they are in a romantic relationship. But most times I've had, and especially in informal settlements, I have had this a couple of times where the man who is supposed to be the provider of the home leaves the woman without something. So you find them that they do not give them the finances they need, maybe for food and for the basic necessities of the household. And why that is a problem is that it's financial abuse, because you end up finding that these women, because they are also not very economically empowered, they always string along to whatever advances these men have to do with them, because apparently that's their only hope. And you've had many cases that some people are, they do like they do not see beyond the man providing for them, so they're like, I'd rather stay with a man who beats me every day, but rather than die out here starving. And you see, so when we're looking at issues around gender-based violence, we cannot afford to miss out on the position that it's a very intersectional problem. And so when we look at it as intersectional, as I have said, and I've not even finished, but so far you've seen that my thread is going on and on and on and on. What about when the violence is also parental, right? We've had so many stories of children beating up their parents and parents beating up their children, vice versa, in a very abusive and toxic environment. We also have emotional abuse as well. So all these moving parts of violence are the thing. Then we have to look and sit back with ourselves and sit down and assess and come up with intersectional approaches now to the solutions of these problems. Because when we look at it as, if, for example, we are to look at the cultural problem, right? A thing like FGM, what are some of the cultural measures that we can start to doing so that we address it on that level? And it's rather unfortunate that where you are born also determines the probability of you going through violence, gender-based violence. People that come from low-income areas, there's a very high probability of them going through at least one form of abuse. This could be, being beaten up, right? Like we've had. I mean, I grew up in the ghetto, and this is not stories ajaba. It's something that I grew up hearing literally. My next door neighbors, I cannot tell you how many people we have had to go and rescue just because of the beating that was happening right outside my door. And another aspect of the intersectionality of gender-based violence is that it can happen to you that you actually go through all of them. You can find that the woman who is not educated, so on that front, they have been violated because education is a right for everybody. And so let's look at rural girls that maybe come from these cultures that still practice FGM. So one of them is that they go through FGM. Then because of that, they do not access education. Then after that, they are forced to get married. And so they marry off before it's even their time. So forceful early marriages. And then, as if that's not enough, because clearly they always end up being married to way older men. You find a 13-year-old getting married to like a 40-something-year-old. Of course, the power dynamics then, I think that's going to be my next conversation as after we take a break. The power dynamics there never work, really. This is a child versus an adult. Of course, it's going to be a lot of control there. We talk about economic violence, we talk about you do not have the power in that relationship, and it's not a partnership, it's not an equal partnership, okay? Because by the time you're getting married to a 40-year-old and you're just a 13-year-old girl, and some of these cultures, because of patriarchy and misogyny, women are not seen as valuable. Women are actually seen as objects and instruments for the men to just use as child rearing machines, and then that's that. You're not seen as a full human who has value to bring to the society. You're never seen as an equal. So you see, when we talk about all these things, we have to figure out a way. Okay, so if it's political, what can the Office of Public Prosecutions help us with? If it is to keep these politicians accountable, and what would justice then look like for the people that go under the guise of politicians? If it is economic, what can we do in terms of ensuring that we are not dealing with the same problems over and over? If it is cultural, is it civic education that needs to happen, and can we start financing for people to go into these places where the cultural barriers are so stark, that we find that we need to start creating opportunities for us to exist in places where culture and gender norms also are being challenged because clearly they're not working, and we can't keep using culture as a flag. Culture does evolve. It's a dynamic phenomenon. So we can't keep holding on to our cultural beliefs just to benefit a few people, and mostly it's usually the custodians of power, which in most societies always men who have a certain say in community, and then the rest of us are supposed to somehow just exist to facilitate that. So I do think that the first thing first is to see gender-based violence as intersectional problem, and then with that we can only start looking for intersectional solutions to these intersectional problems. When I come back, we will talk a little bit about power dynamics and why that kind of conversation is important. And as we continue with our discussion of it, unpacking some of the key messages that we hope that the scars behind the mask end of our campaign for our 16 days of activism is going to translate to. If you have any questions for me as well, I'm not an expert, but I can try and see if we can come up with a solution as well. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Papito, mastingo nizake mandingo. Natoka klabu wa mwisho kwa mfuko ni zero la wamani ya kesho. El Capitan, napenda usherati na warembo malisa, Mwili mechoka, lakini bado nina godha. Anarumbosa, ni mina washo hana godha. Ni demo umoja, na ameomoka. Situko mavitu, na tunazoza. Kama uko nervous, tonga kijaba, usijelala. Kuna walevi wamekuja wamenyanya, akina dada wanataka biringanya. Ndio sherehe imeanza, kwa sherehe utatupata, kwa sherehe utatupata.
Ukifika kwenye party, statement ya kifahari, marashi za bei ghali, Diona Versace, chini piga nare, na pamba safiris na shingo ziwe icy, Sub-Zero fatality, ndoku donjo kwenye shere, style deadly, kila mtu na mbebe, DJ ongeza tena speakers iheme, watu wacheze kuna rambo na ndiamo, washika wako kila mtu obrigado, kumatumbo chopoko miela nyere, kineno kairodu manokoro hiriembo jochende, kodon, kodon. Washa kishaga, kama uko nervous, tonga kijaba, usijelala. Kuna walevi wamekuja wamenyanya, akina dada wanataka biringanya. Ndio sherehe imeanza, kwa sherehe utatupata, kwa sherehe utatupata.
have a 100 bob in my pocket. Nataka nikunywe 40 shillings. 60 shillings nipe. There.
That's a place you don't like it. You don't know what's
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Whatever them say now it don't matter. Jealousy tryna blow us things. See them eyes them green cause they envy we. Give them a show, pina mukongo. Wachokoze, kulia kushoto. Joeni queen unachafua sinu. Kidansu na wachanganya. Let's take it slow, turinga kitoko. Tusiogope choma photo. Oh no, oh no. Hadi washikwe na phone.
Because of you. We fool because of you. We fool because of you. We fool because of you.
And the things that we do. And the things that we do. Maria, nivulie, sindiria. Ninywe maziwa, ndio niweze kutulia. Jumambo yetu, kuna wengi wanafuatilia. But don't let it get to your head, moto yao tutazima. Baby, you make a man scatter. Utanifanya nikulambe mapaja, pole pole juu nikipanda. Hadi kukuwe na mvua rasha. Acha waone wivu.
Wananiona wivu because of you. Wananiona wivu because of you. Wananiona wivu because of you.
And the things that we do. 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 It's so fresh on the beat and you know it's a hit again.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
One time.
Cheza doba zitu nice, juze tuzime nice.
Mwana.
Sema kwa majina ni Yana. Cheza doba zitu nice, juze tuzime nice.
Sedo. La. Ako kapengika area. Nakakitaka mwitapa. Nakula kiapo ndai hapa. Aje. Sit down on it nikirusha mamistare. Viungo wene nguwa mwili hatare. Wine and cut nishikishe male. Twende maeneo tumailale nane.
Bad boy kijana wa ingo. Napenda njugu na mukombero. Kingoma style napenda matingo. Kifo cha mende ama wagido. Ufa dereva makanga. Leo ni kifo cha mende. Sema leo tunavunja kitanda. Udonjo kudunda na yeye. Nayo anguka. Nayo tunda. Nayo mimi. Nayo
Waya maji mepatana na waya ya stima. Hata ya sina, nepiga kijonsina. When I'm done you can't see me. vuta kaya, harufu mbaya, ni ya manjege na manduku lumbaya. Unaishi wapi ya haya? Natoka wapi Ulaya?
Nyashi yake soft kama matires, na ipapase na nitoa stress, kama mzinga nitaka bless, na majirani wata witness. Iya ni bad boy kijana wa ingo, napenda njugu na mukombero, kingoma style napenda mastingo, kifo cha mende ama wagido. Dereva makanga, leo ni kifo cha mende. Sema yeah. Leo tunakunja kitanda, udonjo kutunda na yeye. Nayo tunda, nayo mimi, nayo.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio.
Ufa dereva makanga, leo ni kifo cha mende. Sema yeah. Leo tunakunja kitanda, udonjo kutunda na yeye. Nayo.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio.
You see addicted, you got my body lifted. Girl, you're so gifted, I never should have ifed it. Don't believe I missed it. How did I not get this? Leave me so breathless, leave me so helpless. Shame on the pain that I feel is in your name. Yet again, I'll be floating like a KLM plane. My game should back this thing, but she's so against me like a kid in broccoli. Sorry, let me speak properly, but she bad to the bone, so she oughta know me. Slowly, I will approach these, stroke on my goatee, then introduce me. No need to blame it on the booze, cause girl, I know you wanna get loose. In truth, I'm a real sweet dude, so this song is for you. I'm addicted to you.
Hey, I never saw it coming. Something about you that I just keep wanting, and I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so deep.
Yeah. Young Cass. There go. Guess my pretty lady. Yeah, you drive me crazy. Like I'm blindfolded, high rolling in a Mercedes. In one word, baby girl, you're amazing. Yeah, you got me sprung, baby. Can I have you daily? Want you by my side, baby, if I had a wish. Always need you there to give me a little kiss. From day one, I knew it would be like this. I'm loving your swagger, baby, you so glamorous. Yes, my pretty mommy, or should I call you darling? Be my princess and I can be your prince charming. We can hold hands in the sands in Malawi. Then we set sails on our way to Diani. Hey. I take you where the weather is sunny, and it's all on me, baby girl, don't bring no money. I got a chef if you ever feel hungry. Breakfast in bed, eyes red, late in the morning. Cass.
I never saw it coming. There's something about you that I just keep wanting, and I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so deep. I know what this could be if you and me got along. In time you see that you need me, and oh, hey, I got you. No matter what we go through, we'll be cool. No matter what they say, you'll be my dude. Me plus you. Ooh, hey, I never saw it coming. There's something about you that I just keep wanting, and I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so deep.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
If you see me cringing and flinching, is because my producer is telling me some very wild stories here about Nairobi's dating scene. Welcome back. That was Addicted by Camp Mula, and it's playing right here on the Pawa Morning Drive show on Power Radio. My name is Anne Wanyoike. Now, we're still unpacking our discussions around what the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence towards women and girls has been. And particularly this year's theme, at least our in-house theme, has been Scars Behind the Mask. And what actually brought about the theme is that, gender-based violence can be happening right in front of you, but people have learned how to mask their pain. People have learned how to mask their scars. And that's why I wanted to talk about, the issue of victim blaming, okay? One of the things that make people actually the perpetration of violence against women and girls is because we are in a society that constantly victim blames, right? When you hear a girl has been raped, the first question is, what was she wearing? You don't stop into your tracks and think, what is wrong with the man who has done that act, okay? When you hear a girl has been beaten up by the husband or the woman has been beaten by the husband, the first question is always, ulifanya nini? What did you do? When we talk about victim blaming and why the response, the very unhealthy response that emanates from victim blaming is hiding under the scars. I've seen so many women who they say, if you see a girl that is always maybe wearing a lot of makeup in specific ways and always maybe in masks, you should probably assess the situation. The girl is probably doing a cry for help, but nobody sees through it, right? The black eyes. We've seen one of the ways that women have also managed to hide their black eyes is by styling the hair in a way that gives a side part where nobody can sort of assess what's happening. And so the issue of victim blaming is something that we need to also start addressing. And then I remember just having these conversations generally with my friends. We keep on saying that victim blaming is one way that you are empowering the perpetrator. Yet what needs to be happening is you empower the victim and the survivors of gender-based violence by stripping off power from the perpetrator. And how do you strip off power from the perpetrator? We do have systems that have been set into place, like, for example, the DPP, the office of the DPP is one way. When you talk about litigating these matters, do you know, Mr. Mark Barasa from the ODPP was telling us that, in fact, more than 90% of the people that are incarcerated, all of them are because of charges against sexual and it's actually rape cases, yeah? And he was able to tell us how it's a problem. In fact, he already knows, like, some of the people that he prosecutes, it's usually people that have raped women, it's people that have defiled girls. So it's sinister. It's something that is happening. And by the way, we do not have enough jails that can accommodate each and every perpetrator. John Alanamu in his presentation was telling us that only 5% of all these cases against gender-based violence and also rape, they're the ones that get reported into the media, and also they're the ones that get reported into the police station. So what happens to the remaining 95%, right? So that means that we are looking at a society where everyone that is crazy is out at large, but we've not gotten an opportunity where they can be held into account. And so we do need to start shifting the narrative from victim blaming and removing the power from the perpetrators to actually empowering the victims, to actually telling them that it's not their fault that something like that has happened. Avert the gaze from the perpetrator and avert it. I mean, avert the gaze from the victim and avert it towards the perpetrator. Hold them into account. If at all we're talking even about power dynamics, which is something that we also need to have a conversation about. When you look at the power dynamics in, for example, I will use the issue of romantic relationships, why you find that most women have died in the hands of their lovers is because the power dynamics, again, in romantic relationships, always, if not always the case, but most times, if not always, is the custodians of power, whoever gets to make the decisions, whoever has the money, always has the power, and so always has to make the right decisions. And I'm not saying that women have not been in relationships where they are the ones who are bringing in the bread. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that 90% of the cases that have been reported, and we've seen that in the past 3 months, this sort of romantic deathbeds that have been happening. We've had 97 cases of women that have died as a result of romantic lover stabbing or just killings from their romantic lovers. And so so we also need to start having a conversation to our male gender, to our men, to our boys, and we start teaching them that you do not feel powerful by putting women down. The way to access your power is not by you over asserting yourself towards the detriment, to the extent of killing somebody else, just so that you can prove that you're the one. Wewe ndio kusema that wewe ndio unastia hii will, And so what would that conversation look like? Because we've done a lot of work in ensuring that, we've taught our girls how to protect themselves. We've told our girls how to wear short skirts. We've taught our girls how to avoid secluded places. What is that like? We have to work, we have to go out in the community, we have to be in the society and be part of societies. And I do want to live in a world ideally where I don't have to always look over my shoulder just because I feel unsafe, because somebody might be prying on me to come and be a predator. So that's what I'm saying, that the same intentionality, the same intensity, the same investment that we pour out to the women and girls is the same one that we need to be using to address these issues to the ones that are the perpetrators. So our men and boys need to be taught from early as now that power does not mean that you abuse it. Power, you having power, you being, the stronger one, you being the one that apparently the leader of the home, is not supposed to translate to it being that you are here to use your power to oppress others and to oppress them from their freedoms. So that's something that we need to also have a conversation around. And then of course there's an issue of I would say there's just a lot of patriarchal messaging around our society. There's a lot of misogyny as well. For those who do not know, patriarchy is a system that has been set up only to favor men, and so it doesn't matter who gets killed, or rather who gets I would say oppressed within that within the context of patriarchy. As long as the power remains to suit the men, then anybody that comes in between that is considered as the scapegoat for that. And then of course misogyny is a hate, just despising women out of the fact that they are women. And it's something that is also very patriarchal in nature. And so some of these things are also very cultural. You just find some people just do not like women. And so looking at women, that gets them to a point of anger that they just want to kill women. Others just want to womanize them. Others, because of misogyny, they just want to serially rape women. It's very diabolical, and it's rather sad that we have had countless stories of this kind of things happening in the society as we know it today. And so we need to also start having that conversation, like what then can be done. And I know that we keep saying serikali jamani idea, but the government does not necessarily have the answers to all our problems. They can only do as far. Like I saw the other day, President William Ruto gave 100 million to finance the 16 days of activism in his Safe Spaces, Safe Houses campaign. But that it's not going to be sustainable. And why is it not going to be sustainable? One, with every government project that is rolled out, of course, it's usually targeted, right? And it's targeted not even countrywide. There are some counties that it's going to happen and some counties it's not going to happen. Then it's 100 million. How much money do you need to build safe homes, for example? And safe houses are not just safe houses. You're building safe houses so that people can come and live there. So by the time they're coming to live there, do we have enough facilities to ensure that the sustainability of these safe houses is going to be catered for, so that we do not have issues of women coming looking for a shelter for 1 week, but immediately the resources run out, they go back to their ex-lovers who it beats the logic, right? Who were the ones who got them to that position in the first place. So I'm just saying that from my earlier on conversation is that we really need to stop looking at issues of gender-based violence as linear issues, but we need to start planning for them as intersectional as they come. So if it's the government to be involved, how can we involve them on a cultural level? How can we finance it on an economical level? How can we finance it on a political level? How can we finance it on a social level, and even at the family unit basic level, right? Schools, for instance, what our social institutions like schools, churches, mosques, temples, what are they doing to ensure that we are we are addressing this issue, and we are addressing it with the utmost nuance that it's supposed to be addressed with, So this is a conversation that we are going to continue having. We'll be talking about it until the 10th of December. But then again, that's also another problem, because 16 days is not enough for us to just talk about this issue out of 365 days in a year. So it's a conversation that we always have to keep at. And I think I will have to stop this right here, right now, because my time is already out. But thank you so much to everybody who was able to tune in. Let's do this again on Wednesday from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 in the a.m. Yes, and have yourself a great start of the fresh month of December. I know the festive season is already here with us. People are excited about it. I don't know. Are you guys going home? Munenda ushago? Are you guys going for vacation? What are the plans looking like? But let's have a conversation here. I think on Wednesday we will have to have a discussion about gender-based violence and just safety during the festive season, because also that could potentially open up a can of worms, because people are everywhere, people are drunk, people are having a good time, which can make somebody forget, for example, the boundaries within which they are supposed to be acting. All right, at 11 a.m., Miss Murote comes in with Shiva session, so you do want to stick around for that. Then later on, James Wanyoike will be back here with the Sharia Dive Show for all matters law. So you do want to stick around at Power Radio. But for me, for now, it's goodbye. See you when I see you on Wednesday.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Kusema kweli bado na kuhata, and on the daily bado na kufata. Kosa sio hoja zaidi ya kukupenda. Vipi nikatupa ndoto tulizoziota. Uliniwasha na mavinyo na makale, magizani hadi ngware, nikijifanya daktari wa mabinti wale wenye shepu za hatari, nikapotelea ndani. Ila mwambie nampenda, roho ya mtamani bado nampenda. Ukimwona mwambie nampenda, roho ya mtamani bado nampenda. Ukimwona roho sawa na mabua. I can't help but miss you every morning. Vile unapendeza, kama ningeweza jua yepi ya kutarajia, nisingejipata mashakani kwa niliyoyatenda. Ninayempenda ni wewe, hakuna mwingine wa kubadili penzi. Ningependa tuelewane, kiburi kisinikosanishe nawe. Uliniwasha pale na sikushika nare, ukanisema kwa jirani kwamba mimi kisirane, aibu za hadharani.